Hello and welcome. Today's project is all about calming habits that I find to be the best to reduce anxiety. My old self, who used to suffer from anxiety disorder, ran around at high speeds, forgetting things, and was very dependent on external things to satisfy him. He was very unconscious and looking back, my actions were contributing to the anxiety and chaos I was going through. And I want to talk about how these habits impacted that old Brad, but also how they influence my life right now. Last week's video, I talked about the real illnesses that could accumulate if you continue to suffer from anxiety over a long period of time, of course. And the reason why I touched on that is because I wanted to add fuel underneath your butt so that you can move from this dependent, anxious, unconscious state into this more enlightened, aware, and in control person that you can become. Now, the first habit that I love to do, and I do it every day, I've been doing it for about 4 years now, is meditation. Meditation allows me to sit with myself, and it allows me to be comfortable in my own skin. Having that sacred time in my morning is unbelievably valuable to me, because you should have your own sacred time throughout the day. If you don't have at least 10 minutes to spend quality time with yourself, then you're not truly living. Have that sacred space, because we are living in a society that we can be easily pulled in all sorts of directions. Advertisements are trying to pull you in all sorts of directions. We are engaging in too much TV, social media. We're looking towards external substances, drugs, alcohol, looking towards pornography to fill this void that is quite recognizable once you stop doing that thing, right? Things start to bubble up as soon as you turn off the TV and you slip into bed. Anxiety sufferers experience this all the time. As soon as you go into bed, there's nothing to distract you and bring you back into unconsciousness. So you're in bed and you can't sleep because all of these thoughts start to tackle you, and unresolved responsibilities or unrecognized responsibilities start to rise up, unresolved past traumas start to rise up, and meditation allows you to sit with your unconscious mind and to let things rise up, and then to practice that awareness, the awareness over the thoughts rather than the labeling, the awareness of the sensation rather than the labeling, the awareness of the feelings and desires and the tugs that come about when you sit in silence. Really powerful. The next habit that I love to do is to engage in gratitude, recognizing the things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for the comfy bed I get to sleep in. I'm grateful for the night's sleep I got. I got a full night's rest. I'm grateful for the food I have in the fridge, the healthy food that I enjoy eating, that I'm aware when I eat rather than scooping any old thing in the cupboard into my mouth, right? I'm grateful for the car I get to drive to go visit places and to drive to the coffee shop, right? I'm grateful to have that cup of coffee at that coffee shop, right? Engaging in gratitude starts to shift your focus onto the little things that you weren't aware of in the past. Because when you were running around with your head cut off in this unconscious state, you weren't thinking about all these things that you're grateful for, and you're not paying attention to them. You're just shoving things into your mouth, so to speak, without any awareness, right, of the consequences or the benefits of that, right? And you can do this gratitude by in the morning having your journal and writing 3 things you're grateful for. Really, really powerful. Eckhart Tolle has a quote. He says, "Gratitude is the foundation for all abundance." That's worth thinking about. The next habit I love to do is to take hot baths. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest system. So it counters your anxiety response. All of these habits that I'm talking about today, they counter the anxiety response and they start to activate your rest and digest system, starts to strengthen your immune health. And so a hot bath with Epsom salts, you start to relax, you light a candle. I light incense. I love the smell of incense. So engage in these habits to activate this rest system, really powerful. I also love to do breathing exercises like Wim Hof. You start to pay attention to your breathing. It takes you out of your mind, right? So deep breathing. You focus on the process of breathing rather than all of the negative thoughts, the catastrophic thoughts. And that's powerful, but also the breathing, it starts to circulate oxygen throughout the body. It starts to strengthen your immune health. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system. A lot of great benefits as well. And when I do this breathing exercise, I notice how relaxed I am right after. It's unbelievably relaxing, and I see colors in my mind, and I notice any sensation and strange sensation that comes up. And the thing about that deep breathing is that strange sensations come about, and the breathing allows you to get more comfortable with those strange sensations, and in the end you strengthen your mind, that any sensation that accumulates throughout the day won't be as sensitizing to you than it was before, right? And I used to react with such negative emotion to any strange sensation that would pop up. Another habit that I highly recommend is schedule your day for tomorrow. Write out what your day is going to be like. I wake up at this time, eat breakfast at this time, I leave for work at this time, or you meditate at this time. And so having a structure adds more certainty and less chaos to the future. And anxiety sufferers perceive the future as this jumble, this amalgamation of just chaos and uncertainty. And when you start to structure how you want your future to look like, even tomorrow and the next coming week, well, you bring about more certainty, and that lessens your anxiety. I also clean up. I love to, if I'm having a day where I'm procrastinating and I'm not reaching my full potential, I start by cleaning up, because when I start to clean up, I feel better. And you feel better because the state of your house is a direct reflection of the state of your mind. So if your room is cluttered, you start to clean up your room, you start to feel better. You start to feel, wait, I did something today, but also there's less obstacles to stumble into in that room. Very powerful. I love to listen to binaural beats. So this meditation music on YouTube. I'll listen to old jazz. I love to listen to jazz when I'm writing out my videos or my podcasts. Very calming for me. One of my favorite things to do is to sit in the coffee shop, put on headphones like classical music, get my favorite tea or sometimes decaf, and I'll stare out the window and I'll start to engage in my 5 senses. What do I smell? What do I feel? I feel the seat from underneath me. I feel the hot cup against my hands. What do I see? The rain coming down, watching people walk by. This is a great practice to get you out of your head and into the present moment. And I'll first start off with 10 minutes. I'll do 10 minutes listening to my music, and then that's the goal. But then usually it'll last for longer, and then 15 minutes will go by, and then 20 minutes will go by, and I find that I'm just sitting there in the present moment. I used to be very impatient, and meditation and this practice of sitting in the coffee shop increased my patience, and the days seem to stretch longer rather than remain short. And that's because I'm no longer in this unconscious state anymore, but I'm in awareness and I'm enjoying the present moment. I also love to watch and listen to my mentors. So if I'm having one of those days where I am uneasy, restless, and procrastinating, I'll turn on one of my mentors because they act as the ideal judge that you're not living up to your potential, right? And you feel that when you start to watch them because they're living up to their potential, they're growing, they're pushing themselves, and you're not. That'll come up within you, and so that'll motivate you to go back to your old, not old destructive patterns, but your productive patterns, the patterns that help you reach your higher self. And that's where I'm going to leave you on today's video. Thank you so much for being here with me today. What is your favorite habit? I'm sure I left out some habits that I do regularly, but what's your favorite habit? What gets you grounded? What gets you calm and relaxed? And I want to see what habits you do regularly, so leave your comment below. And lastly, do not let anxiety define who you are. I will see you on the next video or podcast. Bye for now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so that whenever a new video of mine appears, you will be one of the first to know. Namaste.